This is the instructional video that will go through how you put together your comprehensive outline that you will use for your Q2 research paper. The first thing that you should know, the first thing here on this presentation is that you will see posted to the classwork tab. I also have an example posted there, and it would be probably very helpful for you to be looking at the example as I am going through the details of how you put together your outline. First, you will notice that it needs to be in a sentence outline format. That means all of the things that you put on your outline are formed in complete sentences with capital letters and punctuation at the end. At the very top, you will see that you first put your question as it appeared on the topic sheet, and then you take that question and turn it into a title. And again, if you're looking at the example that I had posted to Classroom, you can see how that was done. As I go through these slides, anything that is on these slides that is highlighted in yellow, you put it on your outline exactly as you see it on the presentation. For instance, for Roman numeral 1, you actually type out the word introduction. However, for A and B, you do not type out the word question and thesis statement. You type out your question again as it appears on the topic sheet, and then you write out your thesis statement. As we move through here, you will see that you already have all of the information required for your outline on your developmental Cornell notes. So make sure that you have those out as you are typing your outline. What you are doing is you are taking the information you have compiled in your developmental Cornell notes and you are formatting them into a formal outline that you will follow when you are putting together your paper. For capital letter C, you actually type out the words 3 main points. For points 1, 2, and 3, again, you take those from your developmental Cornell notes and you put those into capital letter C, which is your 3 main points. Again, forming them as complete sentences. If you don't have them as complete sentences on your developmental Cornell notes, you need to turn them into complete sentences. Again, if you look at the outline example, you will see how that is done. For capital letter D, you actually create a transitional sentence that will transition from the introduction to the body of your paper. So again, you don't type the words transitional sentence, you actually create that transitional sentence. For Roman numeral 2, because it is in yellow highlighter, you actually type out the word body. For capital letter A, you again will type out in a complete sentence your first point. For numbers 1, 2, and 3, you type and create complete sentences. Out of the 3 supporting points, you decided to use for point number 1. You do the same thing in capital letter B of your outline under the body heading, except in this case, you use point number 2. And then below that, for numbers 1, 2, and 3, you type out your supporting points for that point using complete sentences. And again, you repeat that same format for capital letter C, typing out your point number 3 in a complete sentence, and then using your supporting points from your developmental Cornell notes, creating or turning those into complete sentences and listing those below in numbers 1, 2, and 3. You then space and you go to Roman numeral 3. It is yellow highlighted, so you actually type out the word conclusion. For capital letter A, you retype your question. For capital letter B, you restate your thesis statement. For capital letter C, you type out the words 3 main points. And then for 1, 2, and 3, you retype those 3 points. For capital letter D, you then write 2 summarizing sentences. That will be helpful when you start typing your paper because your transitional sentence from introduction to body paragraph number 1 will already be written. And the same is true for the 2 summarizing sentences that will wrap up your paper. Those are 2 things that sometimes writers struggle with. And in this case, you will do those on the front end and you will just take them from your outline and eventually put them into your paper. Please note that all of the spacing that you see on the example, that is the exact spacing you should have in your outline. I am not at all opposed to you taking that example and hitting File, Make a Copy, and then turning that example into your own outline. So I have no problem with that. In some cases, students have trouble with the correct spacing of both the items under Roman numerals and capital letters. And then sometimes people do not have the correct spacing between sections of their outline. So if you would like to do that, you may do so. And then just using your information in the outline example. As a reminder, your outline is due next Wednesday, which is November 4th.